Good evening, team. I wanted to take a few moments this evening to speak to you about this unprecedented situation we have found ourselves in. Tonight, for the first time in our lives, we face an enemy that has reached deep into our country, one that is hard to see, hard to understand, and even harder to defeat. But we are Americans, a people united in the pursuit of freedom and the very unique American way of life. Your country has enlisted you in its service for your intelligence, work ethic, and persistence. You have answered the call to serve as watchmen, the guardians and informants of our fighting volunteers. In this situation, you are probably like me, struggling to find purpose. I struggle to see how I can fulfill my obligations and continue to serve my family, neighbors, and fellow citizens in the specialized way we defend against our nation's enemies. We are not used to facing a threat so close to home, one that is already inside our borders, and one that can move so swiftly that our most advanced collection techniques simply cannot keep up. And I guess that's the reason I wanted to reach out. Because while I cannot offer a solution to defeat this foe, I can offer some tools to how we will protect ourselves, keep our weapons serviceable, and prepare to resume our mission. In the Army, we don't eat or sleep until we have secured ourselves. It is the most foundational military tactic, and one that I wanted to share with you. Our enemy has weapons so advanced it can breach our walls, our armor, and invade our very souls. Yet the principles of military security can help us here too. For the past 2 weeks, we have been digging our foxholes. Why a foxhole? It's small, it's cramped, it barely gives you room to move. Yet it offers the most protection. Regardless of the weapon, there is only one way in and one way out, and you can reduce your vulnerability to give the enemy the smallest possible target by which it can affect you. So now we are in our foxholes. And just like soldiers, we'll have to speak a little louder, like I'm doing now, and run some new communication wires, and work just a bit harder to keep each other's spirits up. I know you are talking to one another, encouraging one another, and as you find ways to make your foxhole a bit more comfortable, I ask that you share them with the rest of us. What else can we learn from a soldier? Whether he or she wakes up in a tent, a warm bed, or on top of their tank, or in a wet foxhole, they tend to their personal weapon first. They take it apart, bit by bit, examine every piece for functionality, clean it, put it back together again, test it, and then load their ammunition. If the security situation allows, they mount their tanks, man their artillery pieces, or pull out their keyboards. If they've been ordered to remain in their foxhole, they wait patiently for the order to attack. Tonight, I can't give you that order. Instead, I have to ask that you remain for one more night, and in the morning, we'll see what the day brings. I realize that you are far from your most capable weapons and tools, but truly you are still in possession of the one that matters most. And while it's cliché, it's very true for us. That weapon between our ears, while stripped of its most powerful augmentation, at its core is still with you. I need you to wake up tomorrow, clean it, maintain it, and ready it for when we can resume battle. I need you to keep your foxhole clean, serviceable, and always improve it. If the call comes tomorrow for you to step out and confront our nation's enemies again, I need you to be ready. Make sure you are reading, writing, and listening. Keep on top of the latest developments with our account, all the while protecting yourself from this domestic enemy. While every good security plan includes roving patrols, you are not assigned to one right now. Several of your colleagues are, and they're risking their lives on those patrols. And when and where they locate an enemy you can affect, I will call you in to assist them. Until then, maintain the weapon you are in control of. Those that came before us have spent decades preparing our armed forces to prevent or win our nation's wars. While you have been taken out of the fight for now, it is but a moment in the hundreds of thousands of man-hours that our people have dedicated to the nation's security in regards to our account. I know you are eager to step into the fray again, but I cannot let a stray bullet from an enemy that is so close take you out of this fight. Your efforts and the efforts of your predecessors have fully succeeded in preventing a war. Today we are still maintaining mission success even while protecting ourselves from our foxholes. Tend to your personal weapons. Learn more about our enemy. Study the tools they use. Strive to better understand how they think. I've been personally studying the language of our allies, knowing that one day I'll be in a position to be an advocate for our people and help build stronger coalitions with our partners against our foe. Please ask yourself where you will be next. What tiny step can you take today that will move you forward to a success in that future? Just remember that protecting the force as we are doing now is exercising the tactical patience of a disciplined Defense Department. Understand that the people in charge are no smarter than you. They make just as many mistakes, and like you, they are deeply struggling to understand how to defeat this enemy that has surrounded us. Tomorrow, I ask you to think like a soldier, awake on time, account for yourselves to your squad leader and teammates, and exercise more discipline than our enemies. While our enemy sits idly, also besieged by this strained foe, let's hope they enjoy a holiday and let down their guard, that they tend to their mindless pleasures, rest their eyes, and forget that we exist for a day. So let's take a small step forward tomorrow. A big one is out of the question in such a tiny foxhole, and that's okay. To conclude, while I realize it may be a bit cheesy, I'd like to recite my oath of office, which is identical to the civilian oath of office, to help remind me of how to do the right thing in this troubled time. I'll end with the soldier's creed, an ethos that you too can share, and to maintain anonymity, I'll just use my first name. And hey, if you're a contractor, maybe you've never recited this oath before, and there's nothing that stops you from doing it now. I, Stephen, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. I'm an American soldier. I'm a warrior and member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope that I can see you soon.